Yo, so welcome back. This is going to be a video on something that I've been doing for the last, 5 or 6 years, and things that I do that I don't really put out there. If you follow my Instagram, my stories that I post, you'll see that I do this, but for the most part, I don't really produce content on like my buying and selling. So, here's this video. So a lot of people that they follow me on Instagram, whether it's my stories that I post or my mother-in-law, for example, everybody knows that I'm basically like the Facebook Marketplace flip king. And I'm not buying and selling anything out there or everything under the sun, but I'll do it within the things that I enjoy. So if it's cars or if it's motorcycles or Groms or whatever it may be, there's things, there's something that I get out of it, and it's just buying and selling, right? Whatever, it could scale to anything, but there's something that I get out of it that's fun for me, and I'd rather use that profit money to buy the specialty items that I'm interested in than come out of my own pocket, if that makes sense. So that's the number one reason why I do it. So if you're looking at like a $15,000 to $20,000 road glide, right, a Harley, or a supermoto, a $10,000 supermoto like I have, in my mind, those are items that you're not really going to use all the time. Especially as you get to our age, 30s, and you have a little more priorities, you don't really have the opportunity to go and take them out twice a week, 3 times a week. Sometimes if you have a newborn baby or whatever, you can go once a month, right? Golf clubs, whatever it may be. There's certain things that I like to flip to buy with the profit money so that it doesn't hurt me as much when I do let them sit, if that makes sense. So let me backtrack a little bit so I can remind you what I've done in this channel already and where I've taken that flip money, what I've used it for. So let's go to the FRS. If you guys watched that little video series, I bought that FRS for $800. No bullshit. And I took that car, I bought a new subframe for $200. I put in an airbag off of a trade, and I put in an ECU that I bought for $60 or something like that, to where I was into the total cost of the car $1,000 or $1,050. I then put it up for sale for $16K, which is what the market was at that time, and I sold it to some kid for $15,500. So I made a fuckload of profit off that, right? That's an insane deal. That doesn't happen all the time, but there are things that you can jump on out there that have good profit margins, and so that was fun. So I got all that flip money, that $14K, after just floating a G. I basically gave myself a loan to buy something, put some time into it, then sell it, and then I paid myself off with that loan, and I have that profit money now. So it's just leveraging money. It's the way I've learned how to do it and have it make sense for me. Let's fast forward a little bit. I bought Maddie's dad's 280Z off of him, right? We got it for $4,000. It was somewhat of a piece of shit. It was rusted here and there. And I didn't really know the market on them, and I had every intention to build it, but I fell in love with the Volvo that I bought. And so I had no reason to really build 2 classic cars at the same time. And then we had the thing with the dog that happened. And so his surgery amounted to exactly what I sold the car for, which I think I sold it for 13 or 14 grand. So I pulled out $12K profit or $11K profit, and I had to put it straight to my little surgery for his spine. Now, I'm not regretting that at all. I'm happy that I had the opportunity to do that and not come out of my own pocket. I just was able to use an asset that I had and leverage that to giving our dog a chance. It sucks that we didn't come away with him, but that's a situation where you could use that profit money for something else, right? If you guys remember, I was posting some videos on the Groms. The Groms, I was buying those at I was going to $1,800. I was lowballing people left and right. I was buying in Modesto, in Merced, one in Ceres, one in Yuba City. So I was driving a fucking distance to go and get these bikes. But for me, I had the time to do it, and the gas money wasn't that bad, and the profit margin made more sense. Because I didn't want to come out of pocket for a Grom by myself, which was $3K at the time. I wanted to get one that was basically free because I knew it wasn't going to ride it that much. So I bought a Grom. I flipped the white one. I bought another Grom. I think it was the green one. I flipped that one. And then I bought another one. And I flipped that one, and in total, my profit altogether was $2,900 or whatever after flipping those 3 bikes. And then I took the profit money and I bought the yellow one that I had for a little while on the channel. And so I bought that with pure profit money, and I bought a Shoei helmet. I'm out no money. I'm just out time and having fun, and I was doing it passively on the side. So it just cost me my time, but it was fun to do that. So now I have the Grom for free, right? Ideally, and I'm riding around having fun, but then I let it sit, and I didn't use it for 8 months or whatever. We just didn't ride. Nobody wanted to ride the Groms anymore, and then the rain came around and we stopped. And I knew that, okay, I'm not gonna ride this bike anymore. I knew that I eventually wanted to get a bigger bike, but I didn't know, how I was going to get out of it, what I was going to do, what I was going to get, etc. Which brings me to today's video, the Supermoto. I wanted to buy a Supermoto so fucking bad because back in the day I used to race MX, and it's a ton of fun in dirt, but when these started becoming popular and you could have literally a dirt bike like registered on the street with street tires, bro, fucking mind blown. It is the best riding feel on the planet. They were expensive from what I was looking at, and I didn't know how to jump into them, but I knew I wanted one. Like whatever they rode like, I knew it was gonna be like a dirt bike but on the street. And so I had been trying to find a few after I was getting out of the Groms. I found this one last year, the CRF. It's a fucking sick bike. It's 2007, it's carbed, fully built motor. It's 12.5-to-1 compression piston. It's got a Boyson quick accelerator, a Hinson slipper clutch, the 450 R cam swap, a dash added, a couple other things. It's very fucking fun, and it makes a lot of power. It's a lot faster than my other bike, my 500. And so I found this last year. I wish I got it then, but it is what it is. The guy sold it on a weekend that I couldn't meet up with him, and so I told him to give the new owner my number, and if he ever wants to sell it, hit me up. Well, a year later, he finally did. And so I finally linked up with him. I went to go see the bike. I forgot what the for sale ad said. I forgot it had all those parts on it, whatever. And I ended up lowballing him, and I got it for like $3,900. And it's a fucking sick bike. Now, let me show you.
First, when I was looking at it, I was like, you know what? I'm not sure about the teal. But then the more I like looked at it and rode it, I'm like, yeah, the fucking teal is just subtle. It's not even that bad. Like this thing is, it's fucking done very well. I mean, I don't need to start it because it's too loud right now. But like, let's just throw on the lights, for example. I mean, the little seamless fucking turn signals that he put in there, right? The little, just cool little light bar stretched across, and then it just looks good. There's so many parts, and like the styling of this bike is money. Whereas if I bought it last year, I'd keep it. The root beer bronze wheels shocked me. I didn't even notice that until I put it in the sun after I cleaned the bike, and I was like, yo, this thing looks hella good. What the fuck? So again, killer bike for the price. So with this, I'm going to show you the other bike that I bought that I'm keeping, where I was going to eventually flip it. And this is really just to show you, like, we'll just see what I end up making on as far as profit. You saw what I bought it for. I showed you the for sale ad, the guy that originally had it. And now you're going to see what I end up selling it for. And this is only week 1.5 of owning it, or I bought it like last weekend, or week 2 of owning it this Saturday. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, and so this is what brings me to the part of the video where flipping can go wrong. Not in a bad way. It's just something that you learn as you do it enough. And this already happened to me with the truck. Not so much the Volvo. I think the Volvo, I wanted to keep the Volvo. But as my big initial flip I was going to do was with the truck, and then I fell in love with it and didn't want to sell it. Now this KTM, I was trying to get for, I think 4 months, 3-4 months, and the guy just would not budge in price. He had it for $11,500, and it's not really worth that. It's more worth like $9,500, $10,000. And I was working on him, trying to get him down. He's just super picky and didn't want to sell it. And whatever, it is what it is. I know when people have money in something, they don't want to get out of it. Well, the thing is, it's not going to sell in this market at the price he had it at. And I knew I could probably, finesse him down enough to where I can make a good flip profit of like $2,000 on it. He didn't want to get rid of it when I went to go see it, whether he didn't like me or whatever. We had a great conversation. He just wasn't budging on the low offer. And so I had my dad go talk to him. And this is my being resourceful, right? My dad's his age. I had him go talk to him and spitball for a bit, and then come in with the same offer that I came in with. And he fucking sold it to him on the spot. And I was like, God damn it, that's so annoying, because you never know who people like. You don't know, you may have everything there, but they just may not like it and they don't want to sell it to you. And that's fine. You got to be resourceful. So where I wanted to immediately flip this, when he brought it here, I had already seen it in person, but I forgot exactly like what it had on it as far as parts wise, as far as anything that I was dealing with. So I wanted to see what like my profit margin could be when I got it. And then when I got it, I hopped in and I'm like, motherfucker, it's so good. So that's where I was like, you know what, I don't have to flip this. I can flip a different bike, which is why I got the CRF. And now having both of them, I know which one I like more. And not in like a negative way at all, but I think I want the newer bike, plus black and orange KTM. It's kind of my thing. So yeah, I bought this at 7K. I could have flipped this for probably 9,500 or 10K, and that's just what happens. Sometimes you like what you buy and then you hold on to it. Now, what's cool about this is, again, it's still steep in price, but if I want to get out of it in a year, like I'm bored of it, I can still probably sell it for more than I got into it for. And that's the thing where people, I feel like, lose themselves and they think they buy something at like, you buy a 240 at like 12 grand and you think you can sell it the next year for 14. That's not how it works. Like, you've got to get something cheaper than the value actually is on it. You can't just fucking slap, stickers on it or whatever and think you're gonna get 3 grand more out of it, or put on wheels or whatever. There is some shit that depreciates. So yeah, I love it though. It's so much fun. I may flip out of it to get a bigger bike down the road if I want a 690. That was the whole goal, was to get a 2021 KTM 690. I'll plug in the video of the one I went to go see, and I missed out on that deal, but that was a badass bike. So yeah, we'll see where I go with it. But for right now, this is kind of what I'm into currently. I love how nimble it is. It reminds me of my old race bikes. So there's no real reason to get anything heavier. It kind of does everything that I want it to do. You have the dirt bike feel on a dual sport or on a supermoto, and then you're just leaving your house on it. That's the best part about it, is that it's plated and registered. So like, you can just fucking go rip around instead of having it tow or throw the bike in the back of the truck to go to like some park or whatever. Out here, they're like 30 miles away until you get to somewhere where you can ride, so it's kind of annoying. So yeah, if you're interested to see the other things that I do, or like the other flips and stuff, comment below, whatever. I'll continue to post on that CRF. I'll see who ends up buying it. I'll show you guys my profit margin and what I made on it, and then we'll just see like what the cost of this got brought down to. And yeah, and then if I get bored of this thing in 5 months, 6 months, maybe I'll get a fucking 690. I don't know, we'll see. But I like spending profit money more than I like to spend my own money. So it's just the same way you buy something and pull a loan out on something. It's just smaller scale. So yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, whatever, leave something below. Fuck you, I don't know, whatever it is. Peace.